Hello, welcome to Temenos Digital. My name is Aaron, and today we are having a T24 Business Training. This is an advanced training on T24 business area. We are going beyond just creating a customer record and account. We are going to see how to do the setup of the system to be able to use accounts and customers. What are the key tables that you need to know and to configure to prepare your system for use? So who should follow this training? This training is meant for any super user. By super user, I mean people working in accounting department, in IT department, or any other department or consultant who are interested in how to parameterize the system. We are going to talk about two fundamental applications, account and customer. These are the key tables or applications. So these are the key applications. So they need to be configured properly because they have impact on other applications. Now, let's start with the first application. The first application is customer. What is customer? A customer is an application which is used to record and keep all static information related to the customers. By customers, I mean individual clients, a corporate, or any other entity having a relationship with the bank. This could also be other banks or any other entities actually having a relationship with the bank. So ideally you should keep one record per entity, and then you can have multiple accounts, multiple contracts, and so on. So this is the key. Now, to be able to use customer application, there are tables which need to be configured before. I've named a few of them, but there are more, okay? So the first one is country. In most of cases, country table will come pre-configured. So this includes all the countries. So if we type country list, you see there are a lot of countries. Unless you don't see your country here, then you can add it. Basically, this we have the two letters which identify the country. This ISO code. For example, if you're in Rwanda, the country code is RW. So I can do country C RW. It's Rwanda, or LU, Luxembourg, and the C. Okay? You will hardly change anything in this table. The second is sector. Basically, this we hold the information or economic sectors. As you can see, in Model Bank, I have very few sectors. But in most of cases, you are going to receive a list of all sectors from the central bank. So you get the list from the central bank, and then you can update a list of sectors. The same goes for industry. So industry is another table which is maintained, and you get also a list from the central bank. These are key when it comes to the reporting, especially central bank reports. They rely on industry and sector. Okay. Another table which we are going to look at, which is related to the customer, is target. Target is mainly used for marketing purpose. So this is the way you differentiate your customers and how you want to target them. Okay, so let's have a look. Target list. In Model Bank, you have like private client, standard, high net worth, and so on. So these are mainly the way of targeting your customers. So you can add some more targets depending on your business. normally this will be defined by a business department of the bank or marketing department. And then you can map, because this is mainly used by marketing. And again, it has influence on the reporting. So customer table is really key. So you need to get it right. Now, the other one is language. Let's look at. Let's see. So we have 4 languages. We have English, French, German, and Spanish. Again, you can add another language. So if you want to communicate with the customers in the local language, you can add your local language here. Okay, let me show you an example. Let me add my native language, okay? It's going to be number 5. A mnemonic is the country code. And I can say Kinyarwanda. Amount format, let me skip this. It is added. So if I list the languages, I can see that Kinyarwanda is added. And I can communicate with the customers in Kinyarwanda. Super important. This can also be used for users. So if you want to have like error messages in your local language or some system messages in your local language, you can also use this. Okay? Another table we're going to look at, which is not mandatory, is tax. On a customer, what you have is a tax identification number. So let's say, let me modify my customer record. This one, I can just type Aaron. Let me check the tax. Okay, so it's field 111. So I can go to 111. And here, basically you put the tax identification number. In some countries called TIN. Okay. Let's say if my TIN is this one. And you commit. This is important because when you want to produce a report, you can also include tax identification. Again, this depends on your requirements. In some countries, you need to submit CRS report. These are tax report. Let's move to the second table, which is account. Account table is also a very key table. So we have seen that customer holds static information on customers. Now, the account holds financial data related to the customer's account. So a customer may have different accounts, many accounts, but only one customer. Account table also holds internal accounts. These are accounts that belong to the bank. So they are not customers' account. We're going to see the difference shortly. So accounts depends on customer when it comes to customer account. So you link the account with the customer to be able to identify whose this account is. Okay? If it is an internal account, then customer is not required, and actually cannot add the customer on internal account. There's a restriction by default. You cannot do that. Okay? It is not possible. So to remember, customer accounts, you always have to have the customer ID. But for internal account, you cannot add the customer record because those accounts belong to the bank. Now, category. Category, we're going to see there's a special section on categories. We're going to talk about different categories. Now, also account relies on currency. So this is the table which holds the currency exchange for different currencies that the bank deal with. So let's have a look. Currency list. As you can see, there are a lot of currencies, okay? So in this model bank, these are the currencies we deal with. But if there's any currency which is not included here, then you can add it, okay? This table is mainly maintained by Treasury Department because it has information like exchange rates, which are applicable to different transactions. So if you have foreign currency transactions or inter-currency transactions, then this table is always verified. So for example, you might say, like here we see that we have a buying rate, we have selling rate, middle revaluation rate, and so on. These different rates are applicable depending on the activity. When you do, let's say, NFT transaction, depending on the nature of the transaction, the system will apply either buying rate or selling rate or middle rate, depending on how the system is configured by default. Okay? Good. Let's move forward. Department Account Officer. This is mainly information related to the relationship managers. Account managers. They are maintained. The list is maintained here. The table called DAO. Okay. You can see there are many. You keep adding, okay. This could be individuals, could be departments responsible for managing customers and customers' account. And we have account general condition. I'm going to touch this when we talk about parameter tables, okay? Now let's move to category. Category is another important table when it comes to parameterization. Basically, there are a lot of categories. But there's a very simple explanation on these categories and the rules behind these categories, okay? This is what I'm going to explain to you. So basically, there is a very simple way to understand categories. So we have customer accounts. These are categories from 1,000 to 1,999. So 1,999. Those are customer accounts. So in this, we have different also categories. So if you look at, let's say, 1,000 series, these are current accounts, okay? Those are current accounts. So if you have different flavors of current accounts, you can keep expanding this list. As you can see here, we have 6 categories, and the names really are not descriptive. So in a bank, they will tell you the names of those categories, and you have descriptive names, not like current account 1, current account 2. Of course, this is a model bank. This is the reason why you have this. So you have choice from 1,000 to 1,999. So you can open up to 1,000 categories. I can't imagine a bank having 1,000 products of just current accounts. So this is a lot. Okay. Now we have 2,000 series. These are Vostro accounts. So you can also expand 2001, 2002. But I guess one Vostro is enough. Maybe you can have one for local banks, other for the central bank. I don't know. These are Vostro accounts. Then you have loan accounts. Loan accounts are 3,000. This is series of 3,000. And then you can keep expanding. So of course, if you have different products, mortgage products, you can keep expanding this list. We have 3,100 series. I can see we have AA products, commercial loan, personal loans, mortgage, AA mortgage, and so on. So you can dive into. And then you have 6,000 series. These are savings accounts and so on. Okay. Now, internal accounts. Internal accounts are these. They begin from 10,000 up to 19,999. Okay. We have cash accounts. So 10,000. So these are teller accounts. Then you have vault accounts and so on. Okay. You can see the list of internal accounts is huge. Suspense accounts. So the banks, normally you receive a list of all suspense accounts to be opened. And these are maintained by the accounting, by the way, by the accounting department. They know which accounts to be opened. But you need to maintain these conversions. So if you have a suspense account, you make sure it is opened in this series, 14,000, okay? Not in other categories, because it has implication, okay? Now, we also have 20,000 series. And these are Forex related categories. Then we have 21,000. These are LD and MM, so loans and deposit, money market, and so on. So like term deposits and so on. And so you can look for yourself, LCs and so on. The list is huge. So the key here, the takeout here, is whenever you want to create a category, you need to localize that category. So you need to know in which range. Now, we also have a P&L, not only account, as you can see, we also have a P&L, profit and loss accounts. These are 50,000 up to 64,000, so on, okay? We have interest, charges, commissions, and so on. These are 50,000 up to 59,000. So we have interest, charges, commission, fees, and so on. Okay, so you can see. Then expenses. Expenses are 60,000. Things like salaries, bonus, salaries, and so on. These are expenses of the bank. Good. So this is on a high level an understanding of categories, because if you don't understand well categories, you can mess up with the configuration and you can produce unexpected reports, wrong reports. Okay, these are key. Let's look at some important parameter tables. So the first parameter table we're going to look at is this condition.priority. Okay, let's have a look. Let me see if I can shrink this one and try to have both here. Okay, so the first one is condition.priority. So condition.priority. So these are condition priorities we have. Of course, the list can be different, and depending on how your system is parameterized and depending on the business requirements. Let's look at account priority and maybe a statement and okay. Now, once you have defined your priority condition, like we have for the account, then we can define the account general condition. Okay, acct.gen.condition. Let's look at those we have. Like here we have general condition for current accounts, for special savings account, and so on. And this list, you can expand it, you can customize this. This is of course model bank, and at the bank we have their own requirements. If I just try to take you through this, in this case, account category is priority number 1, customer sector is priority number 2, and customer residency is priority number 3. Again, for these accounts in this category, for this customer sector 1001, which is individual, and priority number 3 is the residence, if it's a resident or non-resident. Also, for accounts in this category 1001, priority number 2, we have sector, as you have seen. And now here, if the sector is 1002, and so on. Okay, let's move on quickly. Once you have the account general condition, you can define now the group capitalization. Let's look at group.capitalization. So we have a few of them here. Let's have a look. Like for this one, for current account others, the capitalization is done every month. As far as what I can see, it is done every month. So what is capitalization? Again, interest are accrued, let's say every day. You have accruals. And then the capitalization is done at the end of a period which has been defined. This could be monthly, it can be once in 6 months. Let's say you might have a savings account and you do capitalization every 6 months. The system does accruals of the interest, and then they post those interests at the end of the period, which is 6 months. Okay, but people in the business, they know what capitalization I mean. Now, once you have account general condition, you can also define group debit interest and group credit interest. So this is how interests are going to be calculated. Let's have a look. Group.debit.int. As you can see, number 1 here is the general condition of the one. So 1, if you look again at account gen condition, we look at number 1. This is for current account person. Okay. Now, if you look at group dot debit dot int we list, and let's pick like number 6. So number 1 is the current account, personal, as you have seen. It's for general condition. The second is the currency for the account. So this is a condition related to personal accounts in euro. So you defined group debit interest and group credit interest are based on currency. So the base which is used to calculate is 366 days. Okay? And the balance type is daily. So this is going to check daily balance. And the type of calculation is level. This could be level or band. Level, it's one figure. So if it's percentage, it applies the percentage one figure. If it's a band, then you need to have different levels. You can define from this amount to this is the rate to be applied, and so on. Okay, so basically there are two types of calculation: band and level. Now similarly, we have group credit.int. Let's look at number 6. Sorry, 6. As you can see, for current account, we don't provide any interest. Okay, so the interest is 0. The system will ignore this because the interest is 0. But if you look at savings account, let's see if you have those. Group.credit.int. I believe. Yes, like here we have staff savings accounts. We are saying the interest is calculated based on the minimum balance, and it's a level we apply 5.5%, and the start date is the first day of the month, and the last date is 31st. Now, of course, you are going to have a different setup, but this is where you set all general conditions related to account products. I think I can stop by this. These tables are a lot, so I think what I can do, you have this slide, just go into the system and look at all these tables. The names are descriptive, and you can easily navigate and know what each of them mean. Okay, so there are also general conditions for statement. Maybe let's look at those. So one is account.stmt.parameter. It should be one record which is called system. Do we produce statements if there are no movement? No. So if account does not have any movement during that period, no statement is going to be produced. The descriptive statement, no. Descriptive statement, if this is yes, you include the narratives. Okay. And now we also have a statement general condition. stmt.gen.condition. Like here you have daily statement, monthly and quarterly. You can view those quickly. We can say daily statement. These are not for nostro accounts, but Yeah, many nostro accounts, what I see again. But if we check monthly, we have customers account, I guess. Yes, we have 1001. These are customer accounts, like savings account, current accounts. So customer accounts statements are produced every month. We have also quarterly statements, and here we have this one product of savings account, so for which a statement is produced every quarter. You can also have account statement, so you can override these conditions on account level, because for each account we'll have an entry in this account statement. Let's see. Let me check my account. C Aaron CC. So this is my account number. Account.statement C. Yes. So if I want to have descriptive statement, I can put yes. So meaning I will override the general condition defined for statements. So if you have a requirement for specific accounts where you need to have descriptive statement, then you can change to yes. Go through all the tables. If anything does not make sense to you, use help. Otherwise, also ask me questions in the comment. I'll be able to answer very quickly. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. In this video, we had an introduction to T24 Business Training. We have seen two very important applications, customer and account. I hope you now understand how to do a basic setup of customer and account application. You also have a good understanding of some key parameter tables. A list is huge. I will encourage you to read the documentation. And if you are stuck or have a particular questions, please don't be shy. Ask in the comment. I'll be able to come back as soon as possible with a response. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like this video, please like it and share the same with your friends. In our next video, we are going to see fund transfer, a very important application. So stay tuned. See you next. Bye-bye.